Greetings, YouTube. Comic book guy here, better known as Danny Staten or the Daily Damn Blog. Today over on the blog, I took a look at the Terminator. That's right, the Terminator #1, 1988. Now Comics. Anybody ever heard of Now Comics? I had 2 issues of these Terminator comics. I wished I had #2, but I got 1 and 3, and I thought I'd take a quick look through them today because I put up a in-depth review of #1 today on the Daily Damn Blog. You can check that out. It'll be up before this. I really was impressed when I busted open the front cover. I saw right off the rip the people I could either congratulate or blame, and the congratulations went out. You got all these looks at other titles coming out, like The Real Ghostbusters and Astro Boy, Speed Racer, Racer X, and stuff like that. And then you got to see an evil Arkansas hag lady running from a Terminator. I thought that was hilarious, but I saw that face and I knew that was a face that only a mother could love. And it had to be Arkansas, for sure. And I was overjoyed when the evil, ugly Arkansas skank turned out to be a buck-toothed, evil hag Terminator that got blown up into little bitty pieces. I was overjoyed. I was pulsating in my heart. I was going through some boxes of VHSs this week, and I found an original copy of the Terminator. And then I was going through a box and I saw the Terminator comics, and I said, well, that's what I'm going to review this week, a Terminator-inspired comic book. But I had to give credit where credit's due. I'd never seen a baby Terminator before. It was disturbing. But it looks like It's Alive was a Terminator, right? It's Alive became a Terminator. And even though it had a lot of repetitive battles between human forces, Moon Marines, and Terminators, I was really enjoying the old school look of the art in this comic book. I mean, it's just off the chain cool. It looks like 1975 art. Then I got the most disturbing thing I ever saw in my life. This freak-faced monster called Ralph Snart. You know, Ralph Snart was a real comic book thing back in 1988. I do not remember Ralph Snart, and no, I do not ever want a comic book featuring that thing. You know, you gotta like a comic book where half the Terminators in it are ugly Arkansas skank hags. And I didn't like Sarah Slammers too much neither. You know who Sarah Slammers is? That's right, it's a fake Sarah Connors called Sarah Slammers with the worst hairdo in the history of comic books. It was pretty funny where the old hag from Arkansas, skank Terminator, actually had a little camera in her mouth, transmitting back to all her Terminator buddies in the fake town run by all Terminators. Wow. Now, I really like this. It's your mother's a zombie boy. Do you blame her? Oh, it's Rust, another commercial for Rust from 1988. And then you get to see Racer X. Racer X get his own comic book. Remember Racer X? He was in a cartoon called Speed Racer 55 years ago. And that's about all this comic book you're going to get to see. If you want to see the full review, find out what happened next and what you missed, check me out over on the Daily Damn Blog. Video probably up as we see Skank Arkansas Terminator show off her metal boutique. And we get commercials for upcoming Terminator comic books, like this one that I haven't got to yet. And over on the Daily Damn Blog, if you vote to get to it, I may actually review that piece of garbage. Dun 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 dun. A Florida-based pocket of freedom fighters featuring Sarah Slammers pledge to destroy the Terminators. Bright night, bright night, Fright Night. If you want to see me review Fright Night comic books, be sure to join me on the Daily Damn Blog in October. Go Speed Racer, go! Go Speed Racer, go! Go Speed Racer. Anybody remember Speed Racer? I brought that up earlier. Yeah, they remade Speed Racer in 1988 with his own comic book. Well, that's a quick look at the Terminators. Yeah, that's right, Terminator from 1988, Now Comics. What do you think? Does it look like it's worth checking me out reviewing it? Be sure to join me on the Daily Dan blog to see the full review. And until next time, Fat Comic Book Guy, signing off. I gotta go throw up now.